Hi guys, welcome to the Midnight Talk. I am Juan.
I am Santiago, and today we are gonna be talking with a friend of ours named Lobson. This friend of ours has a curiosity, and it is that he's a person devoted to the Buddhism 2 years ago.
He converted 2 years ago and is a good friend of ours. Let's welcome Lobson.
A big applause, please. So, how Lobson? How are you?
Hey, good, thank you.
As we are saying, he converted 2 years ago. Why do you convert to Buddhism?
I think Buddhism is a great way of choice of life because it helps us not only think about desire as a corruption of the being, but to teach us how to live in a certain way without having any kind of expenses in the matters of like desiring or a lust or any kind of what you Christians and Catholics speak about, which are the sins. We do not have sins because we do not have any kind of lust or desire.
I have a question on what did you take to make the decision to make the conversion to Catholicism to Buddhism?
Why did I take this
Decision? Right.
Because, well, I think the Catholic Church is really corrupted by the things or the thoughts about the like the popular thought, which is something that does not happen in Buddhism. As why I've lived in my recent 2 years, my life has changed because I have not I do not have a stereotype about the people or any kind of people, and I do not tag a person according to their ideals or according to what they feel or what they like. Catholics tag homosexuals as the devil or sons of the devil, which I don't think is the choice I would prefer to think in my religion.
Okay, we bring our friend here to talk about something that we are passing in our lives, that is choosing a career. This is like some life quizzes that Santiago and I have, and we decide to talk with a friend of ours to expand our options. So first, I have to ask you, I am very stressed and I have a fear of choosing a career that I doesn't like in the future.
Okay, so you don't like a career that's
Yes, that is some big step that I have to make during the time. No, I don't want this. I don't have happiness with that. I like things that is happen now. So technically, I would like to live the moment, not get into some day that I don't be happy anymore.
Okay.
So what can I do?
If you have this kind of thought, this is kind of not the contrary of Kantianic kind of way, like against Kant, because it's more like hedonistic. What does hedonistic mean? It's something like what we Buddhists achieved, which is to live in the moment. Is exactly what you want. Is not worry about the long-term decisions that you will take and the consequences these will have, but only to live in the moment and to act according to the things you want to do in the moment. If you want to take actions about or taking a guide as what you're feeling or what you're doing in the moment, it's completely okay. You do not have to feel stressed or complicated about it, because it's completely okay. Everyone has these stresses, and well, if you want to live in a hedonic way, you can do it, and there is no problem with living in the moment.
So now that you mentioned Kant, I have a question that is related with what Juan said about this thing of the careers, and I have two options of selecting a career. One of these options is being a pilot, right? But I'm scared in the way that I'm scared of selecting this option in the way that I suffer from a disease in my visibility. That it consists basically, very briefly, that by the time I will get blind, right? So this is like a thought that is eating my mind all day, because if I want to be a pilot, one requirement to be this is to have like a perfect sight. To have a perfect sight, right? But what can I do with this? Having the disease and wanting to be and desiring to be this profession, or
Like
yes.
having the profession of being a pilot.
Right.
Well, if the laws and the public safety doesn't allow you to be a pilot because, well, you have a disease on your eyes, it's, well, best for you and for the like common people, for you not to apply nor try to be or to request to be a pilot, because it will hurt the actual community or the common
Yes,
community.
I read something about this in website after before he came to this part, and I searched that desire was the root of all evil and suffering. Yes.
Yes, desiring is indeed the root of suffering, but there's no such thing as desire for us, the Buddhists, because if we think that desire exists and we should not be desiring things, we will indeed desire to not desire, which is indeed a
It's
desire.
like a cycle.
It's like a cycle. So
But if you have this perception of the desiring like idea, then where do you get happiness? Because I have the thought and like the idea that the desire is like related to being happy, right? So for example, in my example, in my case, my happiness is to get to be the pilot, right?
But maybe you can get to be a pilot.
But what can I do if that is my what can I do if being a pilot is like my definition of happiness? Like
Nothing,
that
because-
is my only goal.
No, because if you reach being a pilot, then what? You have reached it. That they're not like an instinct, a desire to be it. So, and in the other hand, if you don't get it because of your eye problem, so you have living in a suffering all the time. Yes.
yeah, but besides that, well said, Dostoevsky, that the desiring is just like the process to desire is just the happiness of the same desire. You will not have like a desire, or you will not have happiness on having a desire, but you just have happiness and the process of getting or completing this desire. So if you are worried about like achieving this goal or having or seizing this desire, then that happiness or that hope for seizing the desire is the actual happiness and not the desire itself, because, well, the process is the thing that matters, on top of the like the same desire as well said the Sisyphus myth, that Sisyphus is well trying to get a rock on the top of the mountain, and the process of him getting to the top of the mountain is hard and is a hassle, but when he gets to the top he just slips and do not have any kind of happiness or any kind of gratification or satisfaction.
It's useful to
it's
get up the rock, but in the same myth of Sisyphus get like some pleasure to take the rock up, because it's useful to get the up, but in the process of getting the rock up, he see flowers, he sees animals that he likes to. So,
Right, but I'm with Juan in the way that Sisyphus, in his way to get the rock up, when he reaches this, like, when he reaches to place the rock on the top of the mountain, he feels pleasure, right? And this pleasure is related to the tomorrow, in his thinking. Tomorrow I will not have to do that again because I already did it today, right? So in that way, I'm going back to my case. I would like to be a pilot because that is my pleasure of happiness. I want to feel this pleasure of happiness, being happy, so that in the future I would not be like considering some more options because I already reached my goal, right?
it's like an unrealistic desire.
I don't understand.
like if something is it something that you can achieve in the
But
in your
it
daily basis?
stay in your mind so you can live happy. It's like an unrealistic desire because you may not achieve it, and if you achieve it in a moment, cannot be the happiness at all.
In that way, it would be because
Because what?
Because what?
because
So, for example, my way of living is satisfy my desires right now, like biological desires, like fuck, like drink, like eat, because in the present we can stay without fears, and we have depression in the past. So we achieve the desires biological, and that is in the moment. We don't worry about what happened next.
Yeah, besides, well, I'm not so like in favor of what one is saying, but like if you are worrying about not achieving your goal, or having problems, or having any kind of obstacles, to say perhaps, then you will not live in a free state of mind. You will just be like the slave of your own like worries and occupations, and without really living in the moment, which is something I think Juan Manuel does, but not in his fullest, because well he's still a slave of his own desires. He did not have like the will to see the world as it is without having the think, or having like the control of everything. He just well, I as a Buddhist, I do not have any kind of desire, but I just see the words or the world as it is, without any kind of prejudice or
Previous
previous
concept.
mind concepts.
sorry, we have some technical issues, but we are back. So we were
We
saying,
were talking about previous mind concepts. So
Yeah, the previous mind concepts that will indeed corrupt your minds and like your spirits, and will not leave you to be, nor to have like any kind of free will. And yeah, if you have these desires and you are restricted to live on the means of these previous mind concepts, you will not have any kind of free will. You just you will just like leave the slave of your desires.
But having desires is necessary for humans.
I'm not in favor.
So
or
if
anti-
we had not any desire, we just be sad. Desire is what make us live and reach things.
In that way, desire is like the thing that makes life have like a
A meaning.
like a meaning, right?
Yeah, well, I think I disagree with this like statement because, well, if you just live on the desire and on what you want to do, you will become corrupted. You will become like a very lost person and not worry about what will happen to other people, but just you will worry about having seized your desires and not worrying about like what will these actions or what are the consequences of these actions.
But this is connected a little bit with Santiago's problem that his desire to be a pilot is bad for him. It's causing suffering because he can reach it, but then what? And if you don't reach it, so you have suffering.
So actually, this is not like a problem or a cause of suffering in me because, such as Dostoevsky mentions and says, I have already accepted like this kind of pain, right? So, this idea that you have like, I don't know if I created and you understand it like that, is really not a suffering to me because I already have accepted that eventually I will get blind, right? So I want to be a pilot. So what I would like to do is basically be a pilot, reach to of being a pilot, and basically is to be happy.
A short time,
Yes, be happy a short time,
and then get blind.
right? But in the case that no,
But
in the
you
case
are
that I did
sure
not
about
make
that? You're sure
Yes.
that you
because
get blind after you achieve your happiness?
yes, because if I get blind before I achieve my happiness, really, I would say my life was a stupid shit. Like, I really want to be happy, and my happiness is, I consider it like, is to getting to be a pilot, right? Because this desire, this belief that I have to get or to be a pilot is caused by the moments that I have shared before. So I want like to recreate them, and I always have imagined have like created this fake scenario in which I am like flying on a plane, being displayed by my control.
Okay, like to finish and to say perhaps a impassioned way to conclude this session, I'd like to say that, well, we have like 3 points of view, which is we have to worry about our future in a long-term definition.
To get out happiness before we reach that long-term process.
Yeah, like having short desires or biological desires.
For me, is this point biological desire are necessary to human beings to live, and also some desire that cannot be reached are parts of our human will to live. And we contrast with our friend here that both of us think that desire is necessary to live.
Because it gives us like a meaning of our lives.
So I disagree with them because I think the desire just corrupts the soul and the spirit of the people who has this desire, which is like the absolute contrary of what they're saying. So yeah, to conclude or to have a conclusion about this session is that there are many points of view about living and about having a way of living, but there is no correct nor a incorrect one, just like different perspectives.
Point of views.
Yeah.
So this is it. This is our time. Thank you guys to see our podcast. We see you last weekend.
Thank you.